Hello. Check. Okay. I'm going to get started here. I was a couple minutes late, so I'm going to have to breeze through this very rapidly, which will probably make everyone happier anyway. So my name's Chef Thompson. I'm the founder of Red Cat. We do drone analytics and storage. It's blockchain-based, and it's a monthly recurring SaaS model. So what problem are we solving? The regulators right now, the FAA and other regulators across the globe, are really holding back all the things that a drone can do, whether it's deliveries, medicine, inspections. All these things are very limited by the regulation because they can't track the flights. So here at Red Cat, we actually give an opportunity very similar to a black box technology that can track everything that happens to your flight while you're in the air and giving you accountability when you're done with that flight, whether it was a perfect flight, or we can also tell you if you have performance issues. The other side of the coin is, how do you insure this brand new category? The insurance companies love drones. It's the first new category in a long time. But the issue is, how do you make a risk table without any data? How do you make a risk table if you don't know what that pilot's flight history has been? So utilizing our black box and analytics technology, we can give these insurance companies the data to enable them to insure these drones. So and how do we do this? Got to do the blockchain joke. Everything's on blockchain, right? Even drones are on blockchain now. But that's always the elephant in the room here. Oh, why does your technology really need to be on blockchain? Are you forcing it to be on blockchain just so you can say blockchain? Well, for us, it's very important. If federal regulators or regulators across the globe are going to trust data to be able to make policy decisions, that definitely has to be immutable and has to be on the blockchain. Same with insurance companies. If they're going to write a check for a $150,000 camera drone, they're going to want to make sure that that data can be trusted. So our solution is really taking a whole bunch of information that's on a drone, because they're actually in separate silos right now. They're not connected to make a useful picture of what happened during that flight. So we take all of those different systems, whether it's the GPS logging, whether it's the telemetry, it's the actual algorithms that keep a drone hovering. All of those separate bits of information get put into one system, easy to use, and we put it on blockchain and have it decentralized across the globe. So the way that we do this, we encrypt it first, you go out and fly, and then we analyze. So one of the big problems with the entire drone industry, there's not a single drone flight controller, whether it's DJI, which is the leader in the space, or any other drone flight controller that can actually encrypt data while it's flying, because they don't have enough processing power. So what we're doing right now is we're building an open source RISC-V processor that's 20x any flight controller right now that can encrypt everything that you need so that your data is never not encrypted when you get in the air. Why is that important? It's not only important for regulation and insurance companies, but the privacy of the drone operator. If you lose a drone a mile away, someone can pick that drone up right now and they'll know everything that you did with that drone. So if you're a pilot and you have our system, it'll be encrypted from day one. It'll never not be encrypted. Then you fly. This is an actually screenshot from our live product. We're out there. We got about 400 beta testers right now. We're basically going after freestyle and racing drones. You've probably seen the racing drones on ESPN. But this is an actual screenshot from when you log your flight, go out and fly, then put your log files into our system, and then we can analyze that data. This is our interface. So there's a couple of cool things that are going on here. One is, you see those two red dots? Those are actually the input from a computer or from a pilot. That's how, just like any sticks you see on a traditional plane, that's how you're flying. The graphs up top are graphs that you can pick. So you can compare motors to flight controller, motors to your battery sag, and you can find out what things are happening on that drone because of all this data can be compared in real time, or you can shrink it down to like a millisecond and say what was going on during this millisecond. Also, what you'll notice on the bottom side is that we're also utilizing artificial intelligence. And if you want to come to our booth, it's right there. You can meet Felipe, who's very well known in that industry. We're identifying events automatically now through reading these log files. Our artificial intelligence continues through deep learning to learn about events. So what can that do? Well, it can say, oh gosh, one of your motors is heating up. You should probably land before it crashes and hurts somebody. So the artificial intelligence is actually doing a lot more than we thought it would do for this application. And you can see that the events get notified down there below, whether it's a flip, roll, liftoff, hover, all those things our system is starting to learn. Competition. Got to do the competition slide, but this is actually pretty important because you notice that our closest competitor recently got bought by Verizon. Why would Verizon want to be in this space? Well, again, just like the insurance companies, 5G is going to be driving all these drones. So they actually acquired about a year ago Skyward to get into the drone space. So there's carriers across the globe that are very interested in the drone space. This is to go through a little bit of our stack. It's all open source, like our hardware is open source. But what's really exciting about this slide is you'll note we have a new API that's being launched in our version 2 of our beta, which comes out the end of November. And we have an API so people can actually use Red Cat as a platform for their ideas. So we have our platform with all the analytics and the storage and all the other things, but if you've got a great idea, we have an open source API. Bring your features on, and the goal for Red Cat is we're the platform. You bring in your features, just like Salesforce has done in the past and other companies. So that API will be launching at the end of November to have customers bring their ideas to the Red Cat platform. Customer acquisition. Do people talk about customers in blockchain? So right now we got a lot of early adopters utilizing our technology. They love the technology. They're giving us a lot of very frank feedback with our technology. The way we're acquiring that first early adopters is actually the race and freestyle pilots. You probably saw some of them yesterday flying here. And then what's also great about these hundreds of thousands of freestyle and racing pilots is it's a very viral situation. They're constantly sharing their pilot, their videos, their interactions, their config files, which shows them how their settings are for their, they're called their PIDs, but most people want to understand what the PIDs are. And then doing partnerships with some of the well-known brands. We're here with our partners, Rotor-Riot. That's rotorriot.com, by the way. And they're one of the most trusted and well-known brands in the race and freestyle world. So we can partner with companies like them and helps us with our customer acquisition. So the business model. So for the race and freestyle pilots, it's a traditional freemium model to get some scale and to get some customers through the door. And then the SMB space, which is basically what we call drone service providers. On the way here, my Uber driver told me that he does 3D imaging with his drone on the weekends, so he took my card. But there's 5,000 drone service providers in the U.S. So the business model with them is to keep them compliant with the FAA here is they pay a monthly recurring fee for each drone that they have. And then the platform players. The platform players, whether it's Amazon, Google, DHL, which people don't realize, DHL is very far along with their delivery process. All these large platform players are going to have millions of drones in each country. We will be doing custom quotes, and we'll be going after them. We're starting to go after them now. Also, the large insurance groups starting to go after them now. So let's talk about the community. The community is huge. The market is huge. It's over $100 billion already, and will be much larger as the drones get unleashed by regulations. But there's a lot of things that we can do with our token in a community that is this large. And let's finally get talking about Red Cat's token. We just minted our token last week. The name of the token is Red Cat. The symbol is RCAT. And what's kind of unique about us is we're an actual security token. What does that mean? Everyone's talking about that term right now. Darn drones. So what we have done is we've done a partnership with Stock Equity Transfer. It's a transfer agent, a traditional transfer agent in they mostly deal with NASDAQ companies. And what we do is if you want to, you can change your tokens in. Every 10 tokens equals 1 common share. If you want to just keep tokens, you can keep your tokens. If you want common shares that actually have voting rights and equity in the company, you can trade those tokens in. You get a designation of rights document with your tokens that tells you how to go back and forth between your tokens and your actual common shares. So you're not only tied to the token. If you don't want tokens, you can be in common shares. If you don't want your common shares, you can be in the token space if you're very interested in that liquidity. I think I've done this within the 12-minute mark. Did I make it? Do they do question and answer or anything like that? Okay, if anyone wants to ask any questions, I'd love to hear them. I can't really see out there, so. Oh, there we go.
Seems like your platform will be able to facilitate a remarkable amount of data collection on behalf of end users. Have you thought about integrating with an exchange platform to allow those users to monetize the data that they're generating as a function of your platform?
Oh my gosh, you should work for us. If I don't know if I can get back there, but if you looked at one of our screenshots there, you noted there was a Red Cat wallet. And to get people to utilize, because the data is the most valuable part of this, we're actually going to be giving people tokens for their data, but that could go much further, as you just kind of mentioned, so we're very open to that. Yes, let's talk. Any more questions? Okay, day 2. I think we're almost done here. Thanks, everybody. Appreciate it.